recently.
Legit wonderful.
Yes.
Enjoy yourself.
Don't enjoy yourself. You're only allowing these people to just make more of this with this secret Saiyan who's stronger than freaking SS Blue Vegito.
Cool.
And he's just in the shadows and never mentioned and in his secret prison.
Cool. Cool.
This is what we're getting.
Yep. But people recognize it's a fun joke, fluff, who gives a shit. As opposed to, here's Jiren, the greatest villain I've ever seen.
But he is, though.
Cool. Yep. Get in there.
That sounds like a very similar to reaction that you just had about Dragon Ball Heroes, though, so I'm confused.
No. I was talking, DA showed me another Heroes thing, and I'm just like, cool. No. Super is trash.
There's the tenors of BG's cools that you have to like really listen for the subtlety. Cool is like, yeah, he's okay with it. Cool is he's pissed off at it.
We in there. Trunks and Vegeta's fuse, cool. Get in there.
Jiren?
Yep. No.
Anything Jiren is like, nah. My girl Belle took me straight to the top.
Why am I not surprised, Belle?
They weren't ready for it.
You almost lost to a Ganon.
You don't. That's the story of my life.
You're almost losing to a Ganon?
Almost losing the Ganon. Because if no matter who you are, you're always one hit away from almost losing to a Ganon. It's not fair.
Is Ganon really that
I'm just imagining,
strong?
like, just milestone moments of your life, like graduating high school. You almost failed. It's just your teacher stamping an F on your paper. Doria!
Go to your job interview for your current job, and he's just waiting there behind the door, charging the kick. Just waiting.
All right, let me open this door to the workshop. No! Pokemon had another little trailer thing. Showed off some new Dynamax forms, which are like the giant forms. Charizard looks fucking
So dumb.
I'm so
I
tired
hate
of
all
Pokemon.
of it. How y'all hitting 1,000 with all the humans and the Pokemon are just stinking up the joint. That coffin looks so dumb.
I like Dynamax Charizard. He looks pretty fucking
They
sick.
keep willing out Charizard.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm sick of it. Blastoise and Venusaur gets no kind of love. Char is always Charizard, and I'm sick of it.
It's because Charizard, man.
Yeah. Charizard the best.
He's not the best.
He is the best.
Charizard the best.
He's not.
But
He is.
so they showed off a bunch of different Dynamax forms, and they have ones for the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And I just love the fact that Let's Go Pikachu's Dynamax form is just original fat Pikachu.
Seriously,
It is
it's
all
amazing.
it is.
Can we talk
It
about
is-
Meowths, though?
I hate it. It looks so stupid.
Long cat.
I hate it.
Very long cat.
Yeah.
Like, Pikachu's like, oh, okay, that's a cute callback. Meowth. Wait, guys, what the fuck?
That's the, you know. That was the drugs finally kicking in. Like, they had some good designs, and then, like, at the peak of the creative portion of their high, they made Sirfetch'd, who's amazing. And then then they lost the buzz, and Dynamax Meowth came out of it. Robert Downey Jr.'s Doolittle.
Oh, did you see
The accent
the Reddit,
is the thing.
Uh-huh.
see the Reddit stuff?
No.
Wait, what?
The Reddit stuff surrounding Doolittle. There was a dude that was working on a production company, and he just started releasing information. So the director was a piece of that clearly was out of his league and did not know what he was doing and
Oh, great.
micromanaging everything. So they would be shooting for the day, And the people would go, so where are the animals going to be placed? Because we need to know where Downey's going to be standing so we can place the animals there in post. And he goes, we'll figure it out. Just get this shot of shooting. And there's like 5 stories of that.
Interesting.
We'll feel it out. Great.
The dude ended it with, I don't know who the production company is that they brought in, but if they can make it even watchable, they all deserve a raise. So he's thinking this is gonna be a dumpster.
So to confirm, we are just talking about.
What?
Yes, Ralph. That's exactly what we're
Great
talking
timing,
about.
Ralph.
That was perfect.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast of stuff.
Where we are disorganized as fuck as usual.
Yep.
Expect nothing but chaos
Wait,
at all
who is
times.
we? Who is Mike saying, all right, let's get started. And you know it's like a 10, 15 second thing. It's not like a call where it was invest, but you just like, oh, we gonna
I know what you're talking about.
ain't disorganized at all.
Eh.
Well, I've only been doing this for roughly 204 episodes of this podcast, roughly of which about 100 have had this format of theme song.
Still a shock every single time.
Yep.
Don't happen. Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, boy. Welcome back, everybody. We got the full cast this time.
And we're alive in 2021.
Yeah. Remember how last week, DA, where I was just like, 2021 still sucks, and you're like, we're waiting for that one big thing.
It happened.
Who could have thought? Because I'm sitting there, I'm scrolling through Twitter and like Dr. Dre brain aneurysm. I'm like, oh, he gone. This the big one. And it's just a random dude. He's mad high profile. And then the next thing was like, Dre just on Twitter like, yeah, I'm all right, you guys. I'm like, wait, what? That bitch took our mama out. Wait, Dre just walking away? What?
Yeah, he is.
That's
So yeah, that's
when you have
We went from
money
Dre having an aneurysm to Jeffree Star fucking Kanye West, and then immediately transitioned into the storming of the Capitol building.
Mm-hmm. So
The 6th was the wild day.
that that is going to be the primary portion of our podcast, but there's like 3, basically just like 2 bits of just random dumb nerd news that we are going to gloss over in about 2 seconds. King of Fighters 15 got announced, as well as Samurai Showdown DLC.
And there's a trailer.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Moving on.
And then
Moving on.
Nintendo acquired, I forget the name of the developer, but they are the ones who made the recent Luigi's Mansion 3.
I already thought they were part of it, so.
Yep, makes sense. So,
But there's also Shueisha's chimping out on Twitter.
there is that too. A
Wait,
lot of
what?
people are thinking that is more they went to a third-party bot system, and it went a
100%,
little
definitely.
hyper-aggressive.
Yeah, because they were just DMCA and their own employees and people who are legit on payroll. Just like, I work for y'all. Why am I getting the takedown? Yeah,
they were
they
scared of them Twitter leaks for Super.
but who cares about motherfucking granola and oatmeal? Don't look at me like that. Those are 2 characters that were introduced. This is the granola rescue arc or something. I forget exactly what it is, but it's the granola something arc. Do you want to see what granola looks like?
Nah, not really.
Okay, no, just picture this. Whis with an eye patch.
Well, spike your hair, thank you.
Here we are.
It's terrible.
Actually, you know what he honestly reminded me of? So there was a filler arc in Dragon Ball Z on the way, the filler arc where Krillin, Gohan, and Bulma were flying to Namek. And there's a arc where they meet all these kids on a like derelict spaceship. It's the main kid.
Yeah.
Legit. It's kind of uncanny. It's just the main kid.
It's almost like it's a bunch of hacks and bums over there that just don't care. So they just farting out terrible designs. Terrible designs. And Oda's over there just these dumb smile animals where it's just like somebody's whole fist is a gorilla. And it's a whole giraffe.
These recent devil fruit powers have been kind of weird.
It's nightmarish. Why would you eat a smile fruit?
Even for Oda, this is really weird.
It was just one of them was just like a giraffe, but the head is just a guy. And I'm like, this is terrible. There are no smiles that are good. Don't eat it. You can you're either a smile and you're just always smiling and laughing and happy, which is terrible, or you're some horrible monstrosity. Why? This horrible crab people is.
But yes. So, unless you were under a rock in a cave.
No, even those were overturned by Trump supporters.
Just core of the earth and or in outer space. There was basically an attempted coup on our capital.
Not basically. There was an attempted coup. These people had weapons and zip ties. You don't bring handcuffs, zip ties, and restraints unless you're trying to take fucking hostages, my guy.
So, was this Tuesday or this is Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Because Wednesday was the day I went back to work and then barely worked because I was just watching all this unfold. And so basically the whole thing started with there was a rally because the House and the Senate were ratifying the Electoral College votes. And in that early morning,
Trump, in his infinite wisdom,
Trump had a rally with him, his son, and his lawyer. I'm forgetting his name. Giuliani, thank you. Where the terms
New Yorkers never forget his name.
Terms trial by combat were uttered.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Cruz, I believe, also had a rally as well.
Yep.
Saying you're all patriots. Just I could go back and look up all the language, but all of it was incitement-based language. If you try and argue otherwise, I don't know what the hell it would take to seemingly get you riled up, because apparently that language isn't it. And yeah, the mob basically started at.
Do you want the actual tweet?
Yes.
From Donald Trump. These are the things and events that happen when a sacred landslide election victory is so unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from great patriots who have been badly and unfairly treated for so long. Go home and with love and in peace, remember this day forever.
So, the mob gathered outside the Capitol. There was minimal security, which, by the way, the DC police or whoever that security body was,
no, that's not the case. So there's the Capitol Police, and then there's the DC Police.
Yeah, the Capitol Police.
So the Capitol Police are literally controlled by a Senate representative called the Master at Arms.
They were asked twice over the last couple days whether they needed National Guard backup or not. They refused twice. So that
we cool.
That was
it's no problem. It's no problem.
It's not even that they refused. Trump did not sign off on it.
I'm pretty sure the language that I read was the actual Capitol Police refused.
Oh, they refused. Okay.
Yes. So they were woefully unprepared, and the just some of the images that came up where they showed when a Black Lives Matter protest was about to happen, marching towards the Lincoln Memorial, and the
Peacefully.
Fuck that. People playing the violin in a park
I'm just saying
were fucking gassed.
the direct picture that I saw was the National Guard in full out tactical gear on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, like more than likely over 100 troops. And then you have pictures of the Capitol Police taking selfies.
Yep.
With these people.
Ridiculous. The one that I saw was it was the one with the dad and the little girl on his shoulders and a dude just pointing a gun at them. Then just a happy old lady being walked down the stairs by the cops. It's like, well, what are we doing here?
You know that it's beyond the scope of hiding anymore when Mitch McConnell makes the Master at Arms, the head of the Capitol Police, resign. Both the Master at Arms and the Deputy Master of Arms were both relieved of their job today.
Good.
And they have been replaced. And guess what? As of today, 6,000 National Guardsmen will be posted for the next 30 days around the Capitol, as they are also now building a 6-foot impenetrable fence. Insurmountable fence. We're talking barbed wire, bladed, unscalable fence for the next 30 days.
Nah.
Because
until that one dude come in full knight armor, just clank, clank. He just catapult over the fence.
There is already a plan on Parler for them to storm it again on the 19th.
Yeah,
the day before the inauguration.
And that is one of the biggest things where there's so many different pundits and news outlets out there that are like, was this planned? And you just look at all these pictures where there
MAGA Civil War
fucking
and
shirts,
merch.
There's
merch,
shirts and merch that have
Hoodies
Civil War and the fucking date on
no,
the
but
damn
was it
shirt.
though? Was it though? I've seen some quick turnaround shirt places now. Calm down.
It's legitimately just pure cowardice.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about the people that are like, was this planned? You're just cowards. You know it was, but you don't want to do it until you know that ship cannot make the shore.
Oh, yeah,
Once they learned that, you see Twitter banning them. Oh, what's Twitter done? Oh, the floodgates are open. Oh, Facebook banned them. Twitter banned them. Reddit banned them. Discord banned them. What happened in the days before all that crap happened? Nothing.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Just about every social media platform, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, is banned Trump. Also,
the only thing that hasn't is Parler.
I just saw, where to go? Apparently, Twitch has also banned, according to CNN, the POTUS Twitter account. At POTUS. The joke on that.
Oh yeah, because he started tweeting from that.
Yeah.
Do you want the tweet he was saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
As I've been saying for a long time, Twitter is going further and further in banning free speech. And tonight, Twitter employees have coordinated with the Democrats and the radical left in removing my account from their platform to silence me. And you, the 75 million great patriots who voted for me. Twitter may be a private company, but without the government's gift of Section 230, they would not exist for long. I predicted this would happen. We have been negotiating with various other sites, and we will have big announcements soon. We will have a big announcement soon. while
Yeah,
we also
on
look
Parler.
at the possibilities of building out our own platform in the near future. We will not be silent. Twitter is not about free speech. They are all about promoting the radical left platform where some of the most vicious people in the world are allowed to speak freely. Stay tuned. Banned.
All caps. Bunch of cowards taking away our comedy. This is gold. I want to see him just chimp out. Don't ban him.
Here's the thing.
It's not
Him chimping
fun
out
to
is
play.
what caused the 6th to happen.
Yeah.
We can't. There is no comedy.
There's
none.
there is nonsense coming from him, but it's not funny because it's basically a cult leader speaking to his cult, and his followers are radicalizing behind him, and they're just doing what he.
Sure,
they're drinking the
And
Kool-Aid.
there is just nothing funny about it anymore. Before it was just like old man doing it. Now it's people dying. It's no comedy.
It's funny up until people actually die because of it. The whole storming thing, I'm like, hilarious. Just watching it with bated breath as they're just cartwheeling in and just wiping their butt with the Constitution. And it's like, okay, people are dying. Like that's too far. That's too far. The goofs and the gaffes are one thing, but then once people start dying, it's like, all right, chill out, dog.
It's always funny until somebody dies.
Yeah.
That's why you can't let it get there.
There's just
and it's funny is we're seeing now that nobody has the balls enough to step up, but you're seeing all these reports from these Republicans saying that we were focused on making sure that our party succeeded, but maybe we made a mistake. Maybe
just maybe.
No, maybe we made a mistake.
People died
so y'all
in the
will vote
building
for
that-
us in the future.
People died in the building that's supposed to generate our rights. People have died in the building where our rights are ratified. There's no greater shame.
And it's like this hasn't happened since like the
1812.
1812. It's ridiculous. This man got so much. What does he do to people?
That's the thing is it's the cult of personality. It's the same thing that brought Hitler into the power he had. When you understand how to inflame
certain people,
a radical, not a radicalized, a desperate community, which, let's face it, the right has been burned down. I'm not talking about the right politicians, talking about the right-wing American apparatus. They have been burnt down by their own representatives because that is the representative's point. They serve big business, they serve high interest, they serve the financial titans, not the people. And when you promote the defecation of American values as the saving and patriotic duty of your vote, these people willingly, desperately surrender everything they can so that they can save the nation, the economy, the broader spectrum, the thing that's bigger than them, because they belong to it. And the issue then becomes they become blinded to it over time. This is a long game. Everything I've been reading when it comes to politics the past 2 months has been these Republicans are playing the long game. They're playing the long game. They're playing the long game. They've been playing this game for the past 30 years to build up to this point where they have absolute power, because this has always been the goal. When you shirk the ability for one apparatus to make any rule that's decent, like look at the Clinton administration. Clinton got some shit good done, but even then Obama couldn't get anything worth a damn done, and the Democrats were blamed. Meanwhile, it was Republicans blocking the vote every time and saying that they were going too far, they're going too far. And so the Republicans, the right-wing voter base, was galvanized. They were emboldened by these claims that it's this other side's fault. And once you are convinced someone is the enemy, and it's bred into you for 2 to 3 different generations, it's ingrained. And that is what we saw happen on the 6th. That ingraining, that indoctrination, that mind wiping is what Trump is playing off of. Because for all intents and purposes, is he an insane lunatic? Yes, but he was clever enough to read the room. There was an entire community of people he could pull from, and he took it. It is the same thing Hitler did in Weimar Republic, Germany. People were mad and upset that their nation was hurt after World War One, where all these stipulations, all these poor, awful things were stuck to them after the Vienna Conference. But on the and if you look at actual history, Germany was on the uptick. They were progressive. They were everything was coming back. But Hitler played on the fear and the stress that World War One left over, and he took power. Thankfully, that couldn't happen in America because we have checks and balances, and dear God, somehow they worked. But the 6th still shows how close we actually came.
I mean, the thing is, though, is Hitler's rise wasn't like it. Like you said, this has been a gradual thing, but Hitler's rise wasn't sudden. It was gradual too.
No, it was sudden. Wrong.
Hold on. I have a thing here. In 1923, he led a failed coup, and he was treated leniently. And then Germany moved on. A decade passes, he's in power.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm
saying. Do you know
just because
how
this
Hitler came to power?
Just because
it wasn't by vote.
I'm just saying, just because this coup failed.
Oh, it's not the end of it. But the thing that saves us here is that there is no one person to give someone authority and power. That's what allowed Hitler to take what he did. When the highest man in the land, I think it was not Bismarck. Who was it? Hindenburg. That's who it was. The great general from World War I, Hindenburg, who was given the highest title in Germany,
not the blimp,
handed Hitler the chancellorship. And at that point, he took power, ran with it, burned down the Reichstag, which is essentially Congress. And once he was put as the chancellor, he took everything. Trump was president. He held the highest office in the land. But it can go no further because, thankfully, there was one house of government that wasn't controlled by him. And our judges, our judicial system, thank God, did work against him. It could have been so much worse, but people did. When push came to shove, our government did work. We showed the ability to survive even great pressure to fall, which is purely thanks to the people who created our government. They definitely created a system where, holy shit, is it hard to kill. We are genuinely hard to kill, even from the inside. It's impressive. Terrifying. But when you step back for a second and look at what we just survived, history has shown that nations with far more power and far more longevity didn't survive things like this. It's crazy. So
all I'm saying though is we shouldn't just
don't let up.
Not at all.
Don't brush this under the rug.
This is why it's important that the Democrats are putting forth another impeachment.
Correct.
Because if he's impeached, which it looks like this time around he will be, the vote will probably more than likely succeed.
Ooh.
And if it does, he can never run for public office in the United States again.
Boo! How great would a 90-year-old Trump be in the office? Oh, it'd be so funny. Plus, he'd have his own Twitter like he's making.
Trump will be dead long before 90.
I don't think he'll make it in the next 5 years.
I think he's like Vince. He's too stubborn to die.
I think I give him if he is impeached, I give him 5 years at max because the state of New York is chasing him hard. He's going to actually go to jail once he's no longer president. The state of New York is literally waiting with salivated breath to take him down.
But prison ain't gonna kill him. You know who's still alive in prison? You know who's still alive in prison? An 83-year-old Bill Cosby.
I think he'd rather die than go to fucking prison. And if he flees to another country, yeah, he'll die.
He gonna be king of prison. He's gonna be in there, absolutely.
No,
but he's gonna be getting the Martha Stewart treatment, where he's making souffles and.
Nah, I think all it takes is one guard to turn his head and go, "Do what you gotta do."
Oh, I'm on break right now. Oh man, my replacement isn't here. He'll be here in a second.
I'm telling
And
you,
then they
it'll
just
be
Jeffrey
a wrap.
Dahmer him.
He somehow
No,
gets
it-
into a prison
think Dahmer
where
was also
one
killed
of
in
these
prison.
people's like who's a,
Somebody like
is a
that.
family member of one of these
Manson.
people that he is just judicial executing.
Not even that. What was it? His own base is turning on him. You've seen that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a disgruntled MAGA individual, even in prison, another Nazi in prison, may just call him a traitor and a fraud and just toothbrush to the neck.
Nah, it'll bounce right off of him. He's too stubborn for it.
We'll
He'll tell the Reaper, "You're fired." You know, that's a joke. I want my harmless meme president.
We don't
My
have that.
joke meme president.
He's gone, though.
It's gone now. It's too far. But that
That
video
period.
that the period was fantastic. But the video where he put out the other day was just like, "You guys, we love you. It's great that you're doing this, but go home. It's gone a little too far. We love you. It's all good, but maybe chill out a little bit." That video, I'm like, "What are you doing? Just condemn it." you idiot. These people,
Bruh, he
these
was
people
literally
did something highly illegal and immoral. And you're going, "We love you." Big ups, homie. You don't say.
But you gotta look at it like this is the same dude that was in the middle of the debate and they just went, just saying you condemn white supremacists, and he went, the left, blah, blah.
No, he
It's
said,
not happening.
"Proud Boys stand back and stand by," which
No, that was a different one.
no,
That was a different period.
No,
No, that was the same period of it. But what happened was Trump was like, give me a name, and I'll condemn him. And the moderator went white supremacist, and Trump went the left.
I believe
Yeah.
it was
No, that's-
Proud Boys stand back and stand by, and then he
That
went
was at the
into
end.
left.
In the end, he said, "Give me a name. Give me something." Okay, the Proud Boys. Well,
It wasn't Proud Boys. It was white supremacists.
Was it? Was
Yeah,
it just? I
no,
thought
no,
they
he said,
name dropped.
yeah, they told him white
Oh no,
supremacists.
Trump just name dropped the Proud Boys at that speech.
Correct.
He was told to bring out white supremacists, and he instead only said, "Okay, Proud Boys, stand up. Back down."
And they heard. Wednesday shows it. And another thing that I want to bring up, which, I didn't give my beginning message typically, that I do that at the end. People that are comparing this to the Black Lives Matter protests, with
It's silly.
as much sincerity as I have, shut the fuck up.
It's so silly.
I think you misspoke. Go fuck yourself.
Just, there is no comparison.
No correlation.
You have people.
Those started because of a legit injustice of black people being murdered in the streets. This started because you don't believe you lost.
This has been in 50 plus court cases at this point. I don't remember the number.
57 is right now.
57 court cases. All of them thrown out. Some by the justices that Trump appointed to the Supreme Court. There is,
we got nothing for you, pimpin'. There's nothing here.
and they just keep saying, we have evidence, and they aren't showing it. Ted Cruz, fucking resign. He is still on this damn hill. Still.
Pure cowardice.
Him and
AOC dragging
yes.
these pieces of I love her.
Her with just dragging them. I always forget her name. Ilan.
Mm-hmm.
The Ralph, I know you know her name.
Ilhan Omar.
Ilhan Omar. Thank you. Where she is just like, articles of impeachment. Let's go. Come on. Get it done. We can do it today. Like, she is just pushing and pushing that.
They're done with the games.
And just the fact that some of these and this I forget which fucking congressman it is. Just too many names. Where he's just
Ted Cruz, Howley,
the one who lost a book deal, and he was blaming the woke mob.
Holly.
Yes.
Holly?
I think it's Holly.
Yeah.
I think it's Holly. Just seriously, here's a line
It's
that my
called
dad
Man.
gave me when I
It was like $12.
it's a line that my dad would say to me when he would get pissed off that I wasn't playing sports well. Get your head out of your ass. Read the fucking room. And
They're incapable of it.
like people that know me, and I've had different talks with like people and stuff, and just like I am not a very patriotic person. I live in the U.S. I'm a citizen here, but I'm not gung ho America, like whatever. I'm like I could live anywhere just as long as it like treated its people okay. I am still embarrassed right now.
As you should be.
Because it's an embarrassment.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, we're that America, that's not to be in America. That's called nationalism. That's part of the problem. That has always been part of the problem. The merchandising of a flag, the merchandising of the very idea of freedom of the American way, it's part of the problem. It doesn't America, pride is great to have, but you should have pride in being a human first and foremost, and that's why it's called the Bill of Rights, not Bill of American Rights. It's as an idea of a country, we were created to better mankind, to be a beacon for the rest of the world to follow, and thankfully they did. We were the first successful democracy. Well, for the most part. Again, there's always outliers, but for the most part. Again, after us, France. After France, the UK. It just so many nations followed our example because we worked. And it's something to be proud of, but you didn't really see this whole American supremacy, American, flag waving pride thing become really a huge thing until after World War II, when it was essentially marketed as America is the savior of the world. Ha ha, we got to fight communism. We're the best. And our whole image was perverted to fight communism. That's the crux of it, and that's where we've led to right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I really hate people like, well, I'm an American. I'm not like one of those yeehaw Americans. It's like that's not a thing. That is a literally 60 to 70-year-old thing. That is not anywhere close to the message our country has provided for the past 400 years. Is it 70, 76? 1920,
around there.
Around 400 almost now.
About tree fitty.
Yeah. So the first 3/4 of our longevity, that wasn't our thing. That's not what our forefathers set down for our nation. That's not what they had in mind. One of the greatest presidents put it best. We speak softly, but we carry a big stick. We're the ones with the threat. We're the ones with the power to do things, both legislatively and militarily. We have a land that gives us option to do whatever we want. But by being the gentlest voice in the room with the biggest stick, you can do so much good. And we have just, instead of talking softly, we've been yelling like fucking chimps on cocaine and wielding the large stick like it's our first tool in the fucking hands of ourselves. Like, oh, we learned how to use a fucking stick. Well, we shit on ourselves.
That is probably the most apt description that I've ever heard about current U.S.
Fuck.
Especially the shitting on ourselves. That seems
Yeah, we literally are shitting on ourselves right now. We are just literally inflamed
Right now.
rampant diarrhea, and we are shitting
It's
ourselves.
been like a shark for like 6 years.
Yeah.
And then it just went, oh, blah, blah. 2020, boy. Oh, it ruined everything. People walking down the street like, please stop killing us. And then cops just like, how would you like to be killed right now? Wait a second. This is the exact thing that we're marching for.
One of the like things that I just was shaking my head at is there was a video that got released after they finally cleared the Capitol building. It was the workers cleaning up the mess. All of them were African American.
The black cleaners, yeah.
All of them. And it was like, how poignant towards just like these dumbass mag hats go in, make a mess of the fucking Capitol, like, and that's just the thing that's like boggling my mind is like people are just like, you know, they just like, you know, just mess around a little bit. It was the capital of our fucking country. It wasn't a fucking Target.
It ain't a Burger King.
It's not a Burger King. It's not a Target. It's not a Radio Shack. It's the Capitol building of our country.
They're acting like these were a bunch of rapscallions, like a bunch of like a 15-year-old joyriding.
The only thing worse would be the White House.
I mean, let's face it, it's still an option.
Only thing that would be worse out of the entire damn country.
Yeah.
And make just a giant mess, and then these workers, primarily minorities, are cleaning up the mess. It is literally basically the state of how our country was
but there's
founded.
a positive way to spin that, though. The white people came and broke shit, and then, like black voters in Georgia, the black people came out to clean up the mess.
Boy, I love me some Georgia today.
Ooh, buddy. Black voters, Georgia, all of you.
Stacey
Black
Abrams.
voters
Good shit.
helped this election.
Oh, yeah.
Stacey
Adams?
Abrams.
Abrams. Okay. I'm terrible with names.
Me too.
Yeah, no, she deserves a seat in the cabinet for the work she did in Georgia.
I don't know if she would accept it. I don't
know either, but she should. But the offer should be made.
She is all about voter outreach right now, and good on her.
Hey, Biden could create a whole new fucking role in the cabinet. The Secretary of Voter Outreach, Secretary of Voting, whatever the fuck. Make it happen. Because my God, Ossoff had no business winning that election. Not a single bit. And the fact he beat David Perdue is literally going to save our country. Because now the next 4 years is going to be nonstop legislation. Because the Grim Reaper is dead.
Yeah.
We have Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, essentially, probably, coming to power. And the tie vote is going to Kamala Harris.
Also, too, there's a couple of Republican senators that I'm reading that are considering not being Republican anymore. So
the chief of staff aide to John McCain has switched. That's already happened.
But basically, I'm just saying is that 50-50 may just switch.
Yeah.
Based on people's changing their party affiliations.
Let's face it, at this point, the Republican Party is in its death throes because of Trump and what happened on the 6th, and they all know it. What's funny is McConnell tried to warn everybody, too. McConnell even went out there and said, listen, challenging this, making a bigger stir would be the worst thing we could do for our party. And then the 6th happened.
Doubt.
Extra
Sus.
doubt. There's a tweet that
he's clearly one of the weak Republicans that Trump was talking about. The powerful, strong ones are the ones to be left alone. We just need to focus on the weak ones when we march on the Capitol.
Oh yeah, one of the people that are set on these threads that were said to, and at least people are giving, witness accounts from the coup itself, is that one of the people that they wanted to take hostage and or execute was Mike Pence.
Oh yeah.
Because he was a coward and a traitor for not...
Yep. Well, that's why Pence was put in the bunker. They knew. Did you see that Pence unfollowed Trump on Twitter before it all went down?
Yep.
Hilarious.
That was one of the best moments of the day.
And also, too, like, obviously we're focusing on the events that happened in D.C. There were...
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
What?
Hold on, I gotta see if that's true.
That one was a little bit misleading. It looks kind of like Harris and Biden, but I think it's him and his wife. It's a shot from the far back. I think it's of him and his wife. Yeah, I thought that at first too, V-Man. But yeah, we were focusing on the Capitol, but there were riots at different political figures at like state capitals and some people's houses all across the country. There was, I think this is Georgia. There were a bunch of MAGA douchebags at the governor of Georgia's house. His house.
Yep.
I know, like, I remember seeing a picture of, like, where a bunch of extremists were outside just throwing a fucking tantrum. And, like, Ohio was there, Georgia, Florida, California, believe Montana actually got involved too. And, like, there's fucking nobody there. Yeah. I'm just going through all the tweets that I just retweeted. The Onion, I will say, you know, never to shy away from an opportunity, released a couple of good articles. One of my personal favorites is Serbia deploys peacekeeping forces to the United States.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
Speaking of worshiping a flag, like, there's a moment during it where a bunch of the people got on, like, a window cleaning thing, and they threw an American flag on the ground to put up a Trump flag.
If that don't just sum it all up.
Also, amongst the crowd were a bunch of thin blue line flags as they were assaulting police. So, really...
Like, do you even know what that represents? What are you doing?
Yeah, really, blue lives apparently don't matter anymore.
Bruh, they gave up on that quick.
Apparently, it's just you don't like minorities. That's really what that means.
I would respect people more if they just went, look, I just don't like black people and Mexicans. But they're just like, no, it's about saving America and all this like wishy-washy language. No, you do not like minorities. It's not about cops' lives. It's not about what they represent. It's about you not liking black people and other minorities. It's just that simple. Just speak on it. Just speak your truth.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the reason they do this is because it's a safe way to say that. When they say they support cops, when they say they support the Confederate flag, they're basically saying I'm racist, but I can keep my job because I'm not saying screw black people.
Mm-hmm. And thankfully, which I love how the FBI is putting out tweets like, if you have any information about people, when they fucking tracked someone that was at a Black Lives Matter protest via their Etsy profile.
They are actually doing stuff.
They are. But it's just like
it's so slow.
It's a lot slower, yeah.
Some dude walked in with his work badge, and Twitter had to point it out. But you can find some Black Lives Matter person through their Etsy. And their faces are there. Yeah. There's video. There's photo. It's in HD. It's in broad day.
Mm-hmm.
What's the holdup? Because this is a federal offense. Mm-hmm. This is not a protest. This is not just... It's not them standing outside of the Capitol building singing Kumbaya. This is a federal offense.
Dudes went up into the old girl's office, feet up, stealing stuff, getting interviewed later like, oh yeah, I didn't steal it. I left a quarter on the table, so I bought it technically. Like, and then here I go walking away. Free as a bird. Oh, what's that knock at the door? Oh, he in jail right now.
There's been a couple of things that I've seen that are like that. There's some dude, like, who's just, like, I guess his son was there, and it's just like, so proud of my son for, you know, blah blah blah, protecting her integrity. His next tweet was, "Why is the FBI contacting me?" And then it just says his account has been suspended. I don't know if it's fake. It's kind of funny either way.
I like to hope that's real.
One of the funny things about the protest that not the protest, my goodness, no, about that highly illegal thing that happened. Look at this picture that I saw where it's just like, no mask, no mask, no. There's so many people without masks. They're so dumb. It's ridiculous. This picture's like half the people just out and about, cramped, no mask.
There's no way that within the coming week or two, we don't see a tremendous leap in reported cases.
Oh,
You know what? I take that back. We probably won't, because people probably won't go get tested.
The other thing too that, well, the thing is, just because the holidays were also, less than a week before that, the cases are going to go up regardless. So
they're going to stupid go, dude, did you see that big old picture that looked like a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah.
It was like 30, 40,000 people.
The other thing too that also, and this is just infuriating because I know people that are saying this, is there was a prevalent little bullshit mill that was going around that they're like, oh, this was Antifa. They snuck in, and they're
It wasn't a
the ones.
bullshit thing. That's what That's what Senator Hawley said on the congressional floor.
Oh, I'm not. No, I'm not saying that it was bullshit. Is like, oh, it's just like fake people were saying it was. It's just in general.
Oh, okay.
It was bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
And yes, I know people that were spreading that shit, and again, infuriating.
How can you even believe that? It's because there's no way our rational minds, like us, the rational right, would ever do something like this. So it has to be them in framing us. It's, dude, that bubble that these people live in. It's astonishing.
It is a cult, and like, yes, I voted for Biden, but as I've seen in a bunch of different things, I'm not gonna fucking wave a flag with his name on it, his face on it, put bumper stickers on my car, put signs on my house. He's elected. He's gonna be our president. You're still gonna call him on his bull. Any elected leader, you have to call them on their bull, even if you voted for them and support them. The
problem is that Trump is their personality.
I'm actually,
as in,
go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, it's just that, they don't. It's not. Their whole personality revolves around being a Trump supporter. So if they don't have that, they're just some dude, some girl.
I think that's I'm curious about that kind of like psychosis where a lot of these people,
it's real.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's, no doubt it's real, but just like what goes into that, where it's just like the need of like, I have to be important, I have to be remembered, I have to do. And maybe I'm weird, but I'm fine just being a dude. just
some guy.
Yeah.
Not trying to leave your mark on history and all this.
Exactly. And like, obviously you still want to like try and, make this, like, the people around you better, your direct world around you better in whatever ways you can. Big or small, but most of the time it's going to be small, it's going to be tiny, and that's okay. But then you have these people.
Honestly, who's the last person that left their mark on history? Steve Jobs?
You could consider Steve Jobs to be one of them.
Like,
yeah, that's I was legit
Gates,
with that.
Basically, him and Gates.
Yeah, him and Gates were the last two big ones. No, Elon Musk, he completely revitalized the auto industry. He transformed it.
So we're saying 3 people within the last 20 years. Of course, you got people like entertainers and blah blah blah
Are we
blah
talking
blah.
also negative?
Mhm.
Because you talk about Osama and um Hussein.
I would say Osama. Honestly, with Hussein, if you ask some 15-year-old who he is, I doubt they even know.
Yeah, Bin Laden is, that was less than
It's
a decade ago.
engraved in the American history, like
Yeah,
in
that was
their.
less than a decade ago was when SEAL Team 6 happened, though, right? I don't remember the year.
It was either 2010 or 11. It might even. No, I think it was 11 or 12.
Yeah, just like Hussein was, again, you say 15 years ago, but it's been over that since that happened.
It
So,
ended.
yeah, that makes sense. Bin Laden was still, and like I see Bin Laden still mentioned just because, different Al Qaeda leaders will typically be referenced as like the successor to Bin Laden or whatever. So like his name is still used. I don't see Saddam's name really at all anymore.
And we like trying to just. I want to leave my mark on the world. Like, I want people to remember me. Have your family remember you, Coco. Beyond that, why should you care if some dude you have legit never met 40 years in the future goes, oh, that was Clara.
And just a lot of these people, when they're like the dude the DA was talking about, where it's like, I left a quarter on her desk. He's probably happy he's getting arrested because that's that mindset. He's like, oh, I'm getting remembered.
Yeah.
As the dude who
that
put a quarter on her desk.
That whole mindset of I want to be remembered, I want to have my name in the history book. That's the type of stuff that lead to people like, I want to be the person who eats the most Oreos in 1 hour, just so people can talk about them. It's that sort of mindset. And I've never really understood that.
And I mean,
I can see the Oreo thing, like something positive where it's just like, I want to do something that's fun for me and I want to do it and I want to be the very best at it.
I guess it's like the follow-up to that, where it's like, I want to be remembered for like,
yeah, I want to be remembered as the guy that ate 37,000 Oreos in an hour.
Yeah,
like, there was some dude that did that. Cool.
Like, a lot of people were just like, I want to be remembered for making the world a better place, for fixing the climate. Like, that's kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, sure, that is a great conviction to have. But when it's nebulous, when you're just like, I just want to be remembered, there is a spectrum. Like we literally just said, where it's just like, oh, the Elon Musks, the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs, but then we went to the complete opposite spectrum of Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, Adolf Hitler, like.
And
Columbine shooter man.
Yeah.
As sad as it is, after Columbine, how many school shooter names do you remember?
I don't know the names of the guys from Columbine. I don't know.
Honestly,
I'm sure
neither
if I
do
saw
I.
it, I would be like,
Nope.
Yep, that's it. But
nope, I wouldn't know it. You could put
that my head.
any of their names in front of me, and I wouldn't remember a single one of them.
Yeah, I'd have to read it.
See, like,
the people who are bad, the bad ones, they have to be literally atrocious. We're talking
atrocious,
lead atrocity for people to remember them. It's the ones that don't really have that much impact, that just kind of just they're bad things. Nobody remembers them.
That's why people want to be the most good or the most bad.
That's why people end up becoming like high profile serial killers, just because they want to be captured. They want to be famous. Like some of the people who do these things is out of a desire to literally be famous, to have their name in lights, 15 minutes of fame. And
that's why people are so hungry to be viral.
Exactly. Everybody wants to be recognized. That's the problem.
And
Because it's at one point that desire becomes corrupted, and regardless of how they get it, they want it.
and it's funny too. It's like the people, at least especially with recent history right now, the people who probably never even wanted it, like their names are very much etched into me right now. Breonna Taylor just like immediately comes to mind. She was just trying to be a nurse, healthcare. She was trying to get like succeed in healthcare, help people.
It's the people who don't chase it and that just get thrown at them that you remember, because they're the ones who do their job above and beyond. It's funny to say, but the first president of the United States didn't want the seat, didn't want to be president, didn't want to be leader, didn't want to command the forces of the Revolutionary War, but he did it because there was nobody else. He didn't want to become president, but the people demanded he do it, and so he did. And the moment he felt like he could comfortably step away and hand over the reins, he did it. And because of that, George Washington's name will literally never be forgotten, because he literally taught the entire world not only how to not be power hungry, but how to surrender power peacefully.
And that's another thing. The president is the highest seat in the U.S. And I bet you 95% of Americans cannot name 20 presidents.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who could not name more
I
than
couldn't.
3.
I hate history. I legitimately could not.
Really?
Yes, I hate history. It's one of those things where I go, the things that interest me are things that I can practically use in some capacity. I can practically use science in some capacity, math, reading, physical education, all that crap. Unless I'm going into history, I have no need for history. I have no need for geography.
No, I understand. It's like, what was Martin Van Buren's politics and where did he stand? It's like, I don't care. Who cares?
Unless I'm going into that field, I never need to know that. I need to know how to add and subtract and stuff. Never need to know history. So I have no interest in history. So I legitimately could not name presidents.
I at least know one name that'll get you 2. Bush.
Hey, 2 for 1.
Yep.
One term.
I could probably name like the big 7, and then like the 5 most recent, and then
The big
over.
7. What would be the big 7?
Like Washington, Lincoln, Jackson.
Jackson is part of the big 7.
I would say so. Anybody
Really?
that gets $1, anybody that gets the
Andrew
nomination.
Jackson was one of the most least impactful presidents in our history.
Wow, see, I don't know.
DG, what was the name of the president that I just used for the joke?
That was the actual president?
Yes.
Yes.
Was
Martin
it
Van Buren.
Yes.
Okay. That's the actual president for real?
Yes, Martin Van Buren. Howard Taft.
That's a fake name.
I thought it was William Taft.
Was it William Taft? It is William Taft. Yes,
Okay,
I don't
okay.
know why I confirmed. I don't know why I confused Howard for it.
Okay, I know that, you know.
I mean, I know all their last names, their first names goes out of the fucking.
Van Buren, really?
I just looked up a list of forgettable presidents. Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison. That's
Yeah.
fake.
William Harrison.
He didn't exist.
That's not a real president.
John Taylor,
Yep.
Who?
Yep.
Miller Fillmore. I know of him.
Yep.
That's a real president?
Yes.
James Buchanan,
Yep.
Rutherford B. Hayes,
I know Hayes.
Yep.
Bucky Barnes was a president.
Chester A. Arthur, William McKinley. No.
Yeah, William
Yeah,
McKinley.
that I know that name.
Do ya?
Warren G. Harding
Yep.
and Herbert Hoover.
Calvin
Well,
Coolidge.
that one's isn't that's what the Hoover Dam's named after.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so like that one's a little eh. Everyone else in that list, yes, I can agree with.
Bruh,
Mark
I
Van
swear,
Buren's on that list.
I just heard entire life.
Calvin Coolidge. That's another one. Yeah.
That's a real president,
Mm-hmm.
dude.
That sounds like a fake Dunkaroos mascot.
Sounds like a character that'd be in
Calvin
a
Cool.
Tales of game.
Lidge.
It does sound like some lame mascot. Like in Ices, the polar bear. I'm Calvin Coolidge.
some knockoff all these Frosted Flakes.
Calvin
Wow.
Cools. Yikes.
Yeah, no. The name, I've never heard it. I only know Jimmy Carter because of The Simpsons.
Jimmy Carter is actually done a lot more post-presidency than his actual presidency.
That 100-year-old bastard's out there building people houses.
Yeah. He's kind of like Bush in that regard, where his post-presidency is a lot more impactful than his presidency when it comes to him as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bush post-presidency has actually been doing a lot of work to try to like make good for like veterans and everything. He is actually trying to be like apologetic for starting that war. He
And
does genuinely feel bad.
He basically wants nothing to do with politics.
No,
Nothing.
he doesn't. He
gets
actually
invited to all those former president things, and he's just like, no.
he is actually on a personal mission to paint the portrait of every U.S. soldier that died under his command.
Oh wow.
And he auctions them off.
Any clue how many he's done? Because
I read this report last year.
at the end of it,
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he'll die before he finishes. But the fact that he's doing that is kind of impressive.
Mm-hmm. So yes, your mark on history, as I just proved, presidents, and it's the highest mark in our government.
Arguably the world.
So another thing too that I kind of want to talk about before we end is, and it's a line that I've been seeing drawn, and it's pretty true, where a lot of these fringe people, personalities, what have you, a lot of it comes from like a lot of the toxicity of different communities. One of them being the gaming community as a whole. One of the things that happened as a response to all this is the PogChamp emote on Twitch.
Deuces
Removed because
Ridiculous.
the dude whose face was PogChamp was a part of the riot. And a lot
his
of
name
these.
is Butex. I don't know his real name because I think it's Ryan something. He sucks.
But yeah, there's just like a lot of communities, gaming, just a lot of different nerd stuff out there too, where a lot of this stuff just kind of breeds and is not
I think
called
part
out.
of that is because of it's mostly a lot of insecure white people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's
And
not
a
called
lot of
out.
nerds. Yeah, a lot of nerds. It's called out, and it's getting way better in some communities. Other ones, they just gave up. I think Comics Gate is one of them where they were just like, they're just gonna be over there. They're shut up.
Yeah,
But
pretty much.
gaming is just like trying to ban all that nonsense. Like they don't want it in their space.
I think a lot of this stuff, at least just what this past week has told me, is I feel like you kind of gotta go harder.
Yeah.
It's what we're doing right now is not enough.
What would be enough?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's where it starts.
It is a slippery slope. I can agree with that.
Here's the thing. When World War II ended, you know what Germany did, right? When it comes to the Nazis? You don't. Okay. So the German government outlawed
history. BG's like, well, actually,
the German government outlawed any and all names, likenesses, and memorandum of all Nazi individuals, their ideas, from ever taking up residency on any state. Anything. It is outlawed. You can't fly a Nazi flag in Germany. There will be no statues made in anyone's honor. There will be literally nothing. You could have been a good Nazi. You get no respect. Nothing. There is no mention of them. They are taught in their history books as being evil, as being a shame, a blemish, and even mentioning the Nazis in Germany is enough to make people actually uncomfortable around you. They have shamed the very idea of Nazism in their own country to the point where it could never come back.
Meanwhile,
They don't allow it to be treated with any semblance of respect. You know, the opposite of what America did with the communists. Not communists, the Confederates.
Confederacy. Yeah. Meanwhile, a Confederate battle flag made its way into the fucking Capitol.
Exactly.
And there was some black politician. I was just like, I've walked these halls hundreds, if not thousands of times. And this was, he just said some stuff that was just like, wow.
Yeah, he said he was like, I've been telling people that I'm okay. But after seeing this picture, and it's the picture of the dude with the Confederate flag walking around the Capitol, he's like, after seeing this picture, you know what? I'm not okay.
No, you shouldn't be. Nobody should be. The Confederate flag was flown and waved inside the halls of Congress.
And that's why people are like, change the name of these military bases. Remove these fucking statues.
Yep. And that's why it's happening. That bill passed. It's being done. It's done.
Celebrated.
This is a great thing. Because it needs to be shown as the shameful mark in history that it is.
And
sedition should never be celebrated. Especially not when it's for such a shameful act as slavery.
Yeah. So
it's disgusting.
Is there
the fact that it's been allowed to go
talk
this
about
long.
this? Because I do want to end on a positive note.
There's a positive note.
I want to read something that I found that is pretty funny. It's gonna come. You're gonna get it near the end. It has come to our attention that a few of our guests have taken part of the violent actions on the nation's capital. We have worked with the FBI and the Holiday Inns in Washington, D.C. to identify several guests who have both frequented our restaurant and participated in a violent uprising against our government this week. In response, Olive Garden has invalidated our never-ending pasta pass for several guests and revoked a lifetime pasta pass from Sean Hannity. They taken away the pasta from these people legitimately.
I did see that.
People gonna walk up in that mug, try to scan that mug like free pasta, unlimited. Why ain't this scanning? My carbs.
If the Olive Garden can make a fucking political statement,
they taking.
Get with it, Congress.
My brain hurts.
Like we can't do much. We can do this. We Olive Garden. We know we ain't the best, but we trying.
You get unlimited pasta if you're not a fascist. So the positive note that I want to end on is, while obviously there's just, a whole bunch of fucking bad going on right now, and with the aftermath of this and dealing with things, there is still good in the world happening. I talk about it every time it happens, but I feel like it's kind of even more important just if you want to try and do something good. Currently this week, Games Done Quick, AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick, is happening. They're raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation via a 24-hour, 7-day speedrun marathon. They actually reached 1 million at the quickest that has ever been done in an AGDQ, which I believe was last night. At least for me, this AGDQ especially is way more important, just because cancer has affected my life a lot via friends. I have family that still has cancer. One of my best friends died to cancer over a year ago. So if you can, go try and donate a little bit. They have prizes and stuff too that you can potentially win. I actually just because there's been mailing snafus and like email snafus and just trying to get correspondence, I still haven't gotten my prizes from 2 AGDQs ago that I won. And it's been like, I'm not blaming anybody. It's just been like, I send an email and then I kind of look for a few days, then I forget, and then I go back like 2 months later, and I'm like, oh shit, I got to reply. I'm sorry. And then I forget. It's just been this circle of just
my goodness.
And
Sounds about right.
typically, when I remember, one of these marathons is going on, so they're not paying attention. They're working on the marathon. So yeah, I mean, there's been a fuck ton of amazing speedruns. Dude just did a 16-star blind speedrun of Super Mario 64 in like less than 40 minutes. Fucking outrageous. There's a marathon. They did a speedrun of Skyward Sword, which they did this same category last year, and it was an hour longer. They found a way to shave an hour off of this game in a year. There's been a couple world records broken, but yeah, they're doing really, really good work. They have been doing good work for many different causes. So if you can, go check out the speedruns on Twitch. Donate a little if you can. Yeah. So, good people doing good things.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. So do we have facts, or should I pull out an anti-joke?
Oh, you know we do. Well, it's not too much of a fact. It's one of those ones where I was just like, I'm trolling through and make sure that they're of quality, and I'm like, well, I got it. I want this one, so this is my choice.
All right.
So it's according to Trump's physician, he only sleeps around 4 to 5 hours a night. He's probably been like that his whole life. He's just one of those people that do not require a whole lot of sleep. A small percentage of the population, 1 to 3%, can function with much less than 8 to 7 hours as required. There's a scientific name for those called short sleepers, and Trump is one of them.
Isn't that the same thing Vince does?
Yes.
I envy
It's just
those
crazy
people.
old white people.
Yes.
I envy
Because-
those people.
4 hours. That is insanity.
I mean, I've done it on like 2 hours, but I've been like, ugh.
That was back when I was at Burger King and waking up for that man. It would just be just a nightmare. That was one of the factors where I'm just like, I can't do this no more. Y'all ain't listening to me. Y'all keep scheduling me more and more. I can't do this anymore. So that's 4 to 5 hours. That is just
Yeah,
nah.
I get 7 to 8 and still feel like crap for 80% of
Really?
the day. It's
I'll get a good 6.5, and I'll
you're
go,
wondering
yeah, oh,
why
that's it.
you were wondering last week, like, why are you doing sleep studies? That's why.
see. Maybe it's your bed.
No, I've been through 2 beds.
Mm.
This is
Have
the
you
one
tried
that-
both hard, firm, and soft, or memory foam? What are we rocking with, Mike?
This is the temperature bed, the one that like keeps me cool at night, and I
No,
sleep
it-
through the night.
That's one of them Cash Money boys.
Yes.
You sleep well, you just wake up and just like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I get the. Is it this weekend? What's today? Today is the 8th. Yeah, this coming weekend we'll get the results of the study that I just did. So yeah. With that, we will end this episode of the podcast of stuff.
Best and works next week, hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully, barring
Something
any other
else
chaos.
Nothing
happens.
People, be nice to each other. Black Lives Matter. Wear your goddamn masks.
No,
No, we saw that Trump
Masks are
rally.
done.
Nope.
Trump got rid of it. It's
Nope.
done.
Yeah, he won in the end.
Thank
Wear
goodness.
your masks.
He was right. He won.
and
We're
we will
never
see
gonna be back to normal.
Never.
It sucks.
Until you can vaccinate people in their sleep.
This
Unconsciously?
sucks, man. It's just like just thinking like, man, I probably went to my last anime convention.
At least for a while.
Terrible
At least
to
for a
think like
good
that.
little
It
while.
sucks because I'm fiending for it.
That's the thing.
I was
too.
just thinking about like, dang. Combo breaker. Nope. CEO.
Hey,
Nope.
Yoma, man, all
Us
the
just
silly
hanging
things
out.
Nope.
The hangouts are so fun, and I want to do them again, but I ain't trying to die.
You all are
And these
sure
people are
germs. And
animal.
I don't trust you as far as I can throw you.
I mean, that's obvious, but at the same time,
Oh boy! All right, with that, we will be signing off. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Later.